The answer is Haitz's law. It claims that every decade the cost per lumen falls by a factor of 10 and the amount of light generated per LED package increases by a factor of 20 for a given wavelength of light. Basically, it relies on the optimization of the production in the semiconductor industry. The most used lights in the horticulture industry before LEDs are probably HPS, high pressure sodium lamps, which have efficacy slightly below 160 lumens per watt, while the company Cree introduced an LED device with the efficacy of 303 lumens per watt. I'm not saying that this is commercially scalable, but at least the efficacy, meaning the units of useful light emitted per watt, is double the amount. So LEDs are clearly the right way to go. Also, the efficiency of LEDs is higher than the efficiency of HPS lights because HPS lights heat up more and that leads to more energy being emitted as heat instead of photons. There are some technologies though that say that they are essentially more efficient than LEDs. For example, I found this XED article. Here they compare the XED light spectrum to the sunlight spectrum. Here is a comparison of how different lights render color. They also say that it saves 20% more energy than LEDs. But as things are now, LEDs are becoming the dominant lighting technology for the horticulture and indoor farming industry. And I think that this isn't gonna change anytime soon. So with this in mind, when the production is gonna increase, the production cost is gonna decrease, and if the companies like Osram or Philips won't mark up the prices, then the actual price of the lamps is gonna decrease, so the devices are gonna get cheaper. And then if the Haitz's law holds up and there is some improvement in the energetics industry, the actual operating costs of LED lights are gonna get negligible. So that would mean that like 50% of the operating costs of indoor farms are gonna get wiped out, and that would mean a boom in indoor farming, which could really help address deforestation and food insecurity in certain regions around the world. But one study also says that there is like limitation essentially to how many lumens we can get out of 1 watt, and it states that the most perfectly engineered light that we would perceive as white cannot achieve much more than about 250 lumens per watt. And this is based on some higher level physics which are now on the screen. So if you wanna read it, read it. If you don't, I get it. It's interesting stuff though. But as already said, there is a light that's supposed to have more than 250 lumens per watt, though it isn't 5800 kelvins, but 5150 kelvins, which is still quite wide.